हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, आज हम फिर से आ चुके हैं एसएससी का चैप्टर 2 का जो पार्ट 1 जो हो चुका था उसका वीडियो पहले आ चुका है, लेकिन अब इसका पार्ट 2 करेंगे। इस चैप्टर का जितना हो चुका है उसके बाद से। तो चलो इसका पेज नंबर देखते हैं। उसके आगे वाला पेज यहाँ इस 28 के यहाँ तक हुआ था। चलिए यहाँ से शुरू हुआ आज। चलिए इसका रीडिंग शुरू करते हैं। आज इसका रीडिंग कंप्लीट होने के बाद फिर इसको कंप्लीट करना है बस फटाफट। ये बहुत लंबा चैप्टर है, तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं। रेसिस्टेंस टू द दिल्ली सुल्तानेट। Throughout its rule, the Delhi Sultanate faced resistance from many quarters. While many kingdoms fell into its net, it failed to subdue the eastern Ganga kingdom. See Figure 2.3 of Kalinga, which included present-day Orissa and parts of Bengal and Andhra Pradesh. One of its rulers in the mid-13th century, Narasimha I, also spent Narasimha I was noted for military strength and cultural brilliance. He brought to the kingdom, apart from repelling multiple inroads of the Sultanate, he defeated the Delhi Sultanate governor of Bengal, partly to commemorate these victories. He built the named Surya Temple at Purna, present-day Odisha. We mentioned earlier Alauddin Khalji's push to south, attracted by renowned wealth. At the time, the Hoysalas ruled parts of southern India, mostly present-day Karnataka. See Figure 2.3 and fended off several attacks from the Delhi Sultanate, remaining the only independent kingdom in the south. However, weakened by these attacks and internal conflicts, the Hoysalas kingdom declined, and the mid-14th century was absorbed into the Vijayanagara Empire. Further south, see below. Don't miss out the sculpture in Figure 2.9 narrates the story behind the Hoysala's emblem. Kannada folklore recounts the story of Sala, a young man who fought a lion to save his guru, giving the dynasty its name Hoysala. The Delhi Sultanate also faced rebellions from the emergence of the several independent region sultanates. The Brahmani Sultanate, for instance, arose in the mid-14th century and controlled much of the Deccan. For a while, powerful Sultanate also emerged in Gujarat, Bengal, and other regions, leading to a complex interplay of alliances and frequent wars. Parts of Rajasthan also remained beyond the reach of Delhi Sultanate. In 15th century, it faced stiff resistance from Rana Kumbha, the ruler of Mewar kingdom, who also successfully repelled invasions from these later sultanates. Don't miss out. Kumbhalgarh Fort was built by Rana Kumbha in the 15th century in the Aravalli Hills and served as a stronghold for the rulers. Mewar, a prominent Rajput kingdom in central and southern parts of today's Rajasthan, surrounded by forests and steep slopes. It is famous for its massive 36-kilometer long wall, one of the longest continuous walls in the world. The Vijayanagara Empire, while the Delhi Sultanate grew politically more unstable, a new center of power emerged in the south. In 14th century, two brothers, Hari, uh, Harihara and Bukka, who had initially served as governors under Muhammad bin Tughlaq, eventually rejected Delhi's authority and established an independent kingdom that became a significant force in southern India and grew into the Vijayanagara Empire. Don't miss out. According to a popular folklore, Harihara and Bukka witnessed a remarkable sight at Hampi in present-day Karnataka. Hare turned in around the chasing a pack of hounds, symbolizing unexpected strength and courage. When they recounted this incident to their guru Vidyaranya, he interpreted it as a symbol of resilience and bravery and advised them to establish their capital at very spot into the north of Vijayanagara Empire. The Brahmani Sultanate was a major revival, eventually fragmented into five independent states called Deccan Sultanates: Vijayapur, Golconda, Virar, Ahmednagar, and Bidar, each ruled by former governors or Tarabdars who declared autonomy. The Vijayanagar rulers battled with the first two as well as with the Gajapati rulers of Odisha in the east. King Krishnadevara in 16th century, the Vijayanagara Empire reached its peak under its celebrated ruler Krishnadevara, who expanded and secured the imperial dominance by the Deccan. Under his rule, the empire achieved more military power and cultural renaissance. He patronized poets and socialists Sanskrit, Telugu, and Kannada. He himself composed an epic poem in Telugu, Amuktamalada, on the story of Tamil poet Sant Andal. One section of the work as a Rajniti royal policy where he expounded his ideas of good governance. Krishnadeva Krishnadevara provided grants to many temples including Tirupati and Andhra Pradesh are Vitalai temples in his own capital Vijayanagara, which displayed many grand temples, palaces and other buildings. Don't miss out. Foreign travelers visited Vijayanagara for trade. Portuguese travelers in particular were very well treated as they came to sell horses, and the king did not want them to go and sell those precious horses to enemy kingdoms. One of them, Domingo Pezas, left a long and detailed record of his stay in the Vijayanagara capital and exclaiming, "This city seemed to me as large as Rome and very beautiful to sight. There are many groups of trees within it, and the gardens of the houses, and many conduits of water which flow into the midst of it, and in places there are lakes. The people in the city are countless in number. This is the best provided city in the world. The streets and markets are full of laden oxen. Could you could find in great abundance everything that you wanted." After winning many wars against his neighbor, Krishnadeva died of illness 1529 in 1565 in the Deccan Sultanate from a coalition and defeated Vijayanagara forces led by Rama Krishnadevara's son-in-law at the Battle of Talikota. The city was sacked over several monthly houses, shops, buildings, palaces, and most of its temples were destroyed and much of its civilian population massacred. It was left in ruins. After this, the empire got fragmented into smaller regions ruled by Narakas, who were former military governors. The empire came to an end in the mid-17th century. The Mughal were the Delhi Sultanate weakened. Babur took Mongol ruler and military strategists who have been thrown out of Samarkand, modern Uzbekistan, turned his sight to India. Descendant of Timur Babur defeated Ibrahim Lodi at Panipat in 1526, which will later be called the First Battle of Panipat. It relied heavily on gunpowder, field artillery, and matchlock guns, which had recently been introduced in warfare in India. That defeat put the final end to the Delhi Sultanate and laid the foundation of Mughal Empire as Babur assumed control of Delhi throne. तो स्टूडेंट, अगर मेरा वीडियो अच्छा लगा आज का एक पार्ट 2 का वीडियो है तो प्लीज़ इस वीडियो को जाके लाइक कीजिएगा अगर अच्छा है, और अगर कहीं पर रीडिंग में प्रॉब्लम है तो प्लीज़ उसको कमेंट में जगह बताना है। और इसका अभी और भी पार्ट आएगा इस चैप्टर का नहीं, इस बुक का नहीं, इस चैप्टर का, क्योंकि सेकंड चैप्टर अभी चल रहा है। इसका अभी और भी पार्ट आएगा क्योंकि ये चैप्टर बहुत लंबा है, बहुत ही बड़ा पेज का है, मतलब क्या 40 पेज का हुआ। तो अभी यहाँ से इसका पार्ट 3 शुरू होने वाला है कुछ ही देर के बाद में, और ये हुआ यहाँ तक का पार्ट 2। पेज नंबर देख लीजिए 36, 29 से शुरू किए थे। पहला पार्ट था 22 से लेकर 28 तक था पहला पार्ट। ये कौन सा पेज है, अगला पेज का पेज, ये 22 से लेकर 28 तक का था पहला पार्ट, और फिर 29 से लेकर आज ये 36 पेज तक आज ये हुआ सेकंड पार्ट। और अभी ये 37 पेज से लेके आएगा भाई, 37 पेज से लेके बाकी जितना होगा वो होगा थर्ड पार्ट। तो चलिए इसको मिलते हैं जल्दी थर्ड पार्ट की तरफ में। तो अगर ये वीडियो अच्छा लगा तो प्लीज़ लाइक कीजिएगा, और मेरा चैनल को जल्दी से जल्दी सब्सक्राइब करके 20 को सब्सक्राइबर जल्दी से जल्दी बनाइए। 17 को है और 3 को चाहिए, फटाफट कीजिए। मिलते जल्दी। बाय स्टूडेंट्स।